What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. My name is Connor, and let's get right into this live stream. Bitcoin, new all-time highs. The pizza day and the Trump dinner is now behind us. So what's going to happen next? Let's get right into this and start off like we always do with our crypto market overview. So taking a look at the current market, Bitcoin, it's 109 now. We're pulling back. 109,600. ETH did hit $2,700. It's now currently trading for $2,592. And everything right now is just kind of slightly pulling back over the past hour, basically. And I'll get into the reason, or the headlines, whatever happening right now, affecting the current price action, other than the fact that, we are kind of due. But anyways, we'll be discussing all of it in this stream, so be sure to stick with me until the very end. Looking at the crypto bubbles, top 100 24-hour time frame analytics, we do have some green out there, right? WorldCoin, Fetch AI, we got Hyperliquid. They're up double-digit %. Trump, no surprise, the day after the big dinner for the top 220 holders of his token is now down 15%. All right, that's a sell the news event, you can say. But overall, pretty stable market. Really not too many crazy upswings on altcoins, not too many downswings either, besides, of course, the major SUI hack. If you guys weren't aware, SUI got, well, not SUI itself, but the CEDIS decentralized exchange liquidity hub on SUI, right? The main DEX was CEDIS, and they got hacked for $220 million. And if we look at the SUI chart, it really wasn't affected all too much. It looks like we do have some further continuation to the downside now. We are in the first labeled buy level now, and then we do have a lower buy level for SUI from 336 down to 320 about. But yeah, this hack, right, is causing SUI to essentially sell off. But the thing is, the coins on SUI itself were the ones that got destroyed, right? If we look at some of these memes, here's Lofi, and here's the daily time frame. This thing literally went to zero. They drained every penny, but the funds are recovered and they're adding them back. But pretty major hack on the SUI network, and it affected the majority of meme coins yesterday, right? Here's Blub the fish. As you can see, this capitulation wick, right? This thing dropped 65% basically from the high to the bottom. But yeah, guys, all the SUI meme coins got hit really, really hard. But the good news, this Axel one is like the Cabal meme coin on SUI. The good news, whatever, well, there's no point in looking at all these little random memes on SUI. But the good news is that SUI isn't decentralized. So they're actually able to freeze the funds and then return it to the protocol that was stolen. So if this was to happen on the Bitcoin network, you can't freeze funds on Bitcoin yet, right? When BlackRock has full control, they're probably going to fork the chain down the line to be able to do these types of things. But a decentralized network does not allow funds to get frozen. But the good news for this SUI hack is that SUI is not decentralized. They can control the validators. They can freeze the funds. A lot of people might get upset at me saying this truth because it's a very obvious truth. Oh no, SUI is decentralized. Oh no, it's so decentralized. What are you talking about? Same thing with XRP. It's decentralized. Oh, what are you talking about? I'm not going to watch you anymore. Stuff like that, guys. If they can freeze the funds, it's not, okay? Plain and simple. But yeah, that's the good news. So yeah, they're handling the hack super well. And, it's just causing price to essentially retrace to liquidity levels. That's how the market works. It goes from liquidity to liquidity. So yeah, we'll cover more altcoins in just a bit. Let's continue to move on now. I do want to address our live chat and see what's going on here. We have Crypto Maniac 925. What is going on, Crypto Maniac? We got Ringo 37. What is up, Ringo? Says he'll have to watch the replay. All good, man. It will be here on the channel for when you're ready to watch it. Shout out to FBS. We got DC. We got the Silva Dollar. We got Matt1. What's up, Semi187? Good to see you. We got Sarah from Finland. What's going on? We got DC, Ashok, Kavya, Kazuya, as always. What's up, Kazuya? Chris Bay. What is up, Chris Bay? Lee J as well, and Peter. So, what is going on, lads? Let's hop right into Bitcoin. And we're selling off, boys. We are selling off. So, yeah, this is kind of proving that we're basically in a, this move was a manipulation move, right? This pump, as of now with this sell-off, it's confirming that, okay? We do have to see further continued sell-off, and what we need to see to basically confirm that this was just a manipulative pump would be for price to come back inside of its range. Now, the range, right, we can classify this zone as the range. So what we had was we had a range form. Our range low down here at $100,688. We had the range high at 105.8K, right? Here's our range high. Here's our range low. Price spent a considerable amount of time trading inside of this range. We had this manipulative breakout, pull back, and then we actually did go for the real breakout. Now, in order to confirm again that this is a manipulative move, price needs to come back inside of the range, and it does appear like it wants to do that at the current moment in time. All right, so let's watch for the confirmation, and the daily close today will, be really, really insightful for us. But yeah, for sure, guys, this pump here from 105K up to 111,000. It does appear to be a manipulative move, of course, with the pizza day, with the Trump dinner. The timing lines up, okay? So let's see if we do actually come back and trade inside of this range. And from there, if we're going to stay super bullish, we should expect our range lows to hold around $100,000 on Bitcoin. Now, if we look at Watcher Guru, a lot of stuff is coming out right now, and some more tariff news. We can see that just 23 minutes ago, right before this live stream started, Trump recommends a 50% tariff on the European Union starting in 1 week on June 1st. Tariffs have spooked the market in the past, earlier this year, and a 50% tariff on the European Union is a huge tariff. Okay, this will have really big implications. Hence, the sell-off we're seeing now. So, of course, people will blame this sell-off on the tariff news, but the chart gave us everything in advance, okay? We knew price broke out of the range, and, we knew we are still trading in an extreme premium price. And now the tariff news releases at a very convenient time, all right? So, it's not the tariff news, it's just liquidity, but, of course, most people will just blame the tariff news on why price is going down, okay? But the charts tell everything beforehand. I just want to make that clear. Now, one thing to note on Bitcoin. That's odd. Let's get our Spaceman key levels back up here, please. We don't really need it right now, but one thing to note on BTC, if we go to the weekly time frame, and on the weekly, what I want to show you guys is what we can do here is we can use the all-time high from the January 20th pump, and then we can take the low that happened on April 7th, and we can put a fib to get some Fibonacci extensions higher. And there's two main levels here in the Fibonacci extensions that everyone should be paying attention to and should have marked on their own chart. The first level is going to be at 118.7K, and this is the 0.27 fib. And then the next one is the 0.618 Fibonacci extension. And this is at 130, basically 131K, utilizing the previous all-time high to the low that formed in April. We have these fib extensions. These fib extensions, in my opinion, should not be faded, all right? whatever happens here in the short term, again, it's very likely looking like we're going to come back and trade inside of our range from 105K to 100K. If we're going to stay bullish, we're going to hold this 100K range low. We should be looking for the market to come into these Fibonacci extension levels, and we want to be really looking for signs of a top there. We want to be looking for signs of distribution, and of course we want to look for signs that money is rolling into alts via Bitcoin dominance. All right, we don't have that Bitcoin dominance on this sell-off. Altcoins they're going down, and Bitcoin dominance is going up. All right, this is essentially not yet the altcoin season. When Bitcoin dominance really convincingly starts to drop, that's when we know we're in that real altcoin season. And on Bitcoin dominance, one thing that I am looking for right now is a confirmed breakdown on the weekly time frame. Below this level here, this low at 63.18%, this one just here. As you can see on the weekly, we had the first sell-off. However, price did not necessarily lose this key swing level I have labeled. Okay, the first weekly candle closed right on the level, and then afterwards, the next week, we opened on the level and we closed higher. Right? If we go to the daily time frame, it is different in the sense where the daily candles closed below it here, but on the weekly it has not. All right, so we do not have any confirmed breakdown on Bitcoin dominance yet. I know a lot of people, a lot of Twitter accounts out there, a lot of market analysts, they're all yelling at the top of their lungs that this is alt season right now. Let me tell you straight up, it ain't yet. Okay, we do not have the confirmed altcoin season yet. It's very close. We're on the cusp, but it's not confirmed. Okay, there's still the chance that Bitcoin dominance wants to make another top and hit 66, 67%. Because we essentially just front ran our supply level here. We didn't come into the supply level, we just front ran it. And a lot of people love getting super eager, super quickly, because they all want to get rich via altcoins and they want the altcoin season. So at the first red candle, at the first sign of weakness, everyone starts going nuts. Oh yeah, guys, it's altcoin season, let's go. Look at the chart. Trust the chart above anything else. It's not confirmed yet. All right, so the weekly candle, when we have a weekly close below this key swing at 63.18%, then you're going to see me start shouting from the rooftops and start getting aggressive and loud and letting you know it's altcoin season. But it's just not the time for that yet, lads. It's just not the time. So that's good. That's actually very good news. It means you actually are going to have some nice opportunities to position yourself even further if you would like to. That's a very positive thing, actually. Okay, more time to get your positions in order and figure out really what coins you want to be holding, etc., etc. The market's giving it to you right now. So a lot of people, right, don't have the patience to wait. But if you do, and you really take this time seriously, right before we essentially enter into a crazy period, you're probably going to get better results than the person just eagerly wanting the altcoin season to start. Anyways, let's move on. Again, key thing you need to know, we're looking for a weekly closure below 63.18%. If we continue to go up, we are looking for the top to happen between 66 and 67% on Bitcoin dominance. All right, let's go ahead and move on now. What is going on to everyone in the chat? I can see Chris is very bullish on Atlantis. So let's just talk about that before we get back into the charts. So I did do a giveaway, lads. And as you can see here in my reply section on my X account, I selected the 5 winners. Okay. I responded to their post. I said, send your address. And I've collected the addresses, and you guys will be getting your 10 monad each very shortly. I will confirm the transaction on the blockchain to show you that this is in fact a legitimate giveaway. All right. And good news, if you didn't win this one, well, guess what? We got another one running as of 30 minutes ago. All right. I mean, I have we got a lot of testnet monad, okay? Like We were some of the first people on the test net, so we managed to accrue quite a bit of Monad testnet tokens, which is why we can do these giveaways, right? So what we're going to be doing here, 10 lucky people, they're going to be winning 10 Monad each, 10 Mon tokens on testnet each, and we're going to give away 10 whitelist spots. Okay, again, 48 hours, 10 winners. Follow the instructions if you want to enter. Follow me, follow Atlantis, like and retweet, tag 2 friends, share your wallet address, and of course, subscribe to Crypto Empire, where we dominate the crypto market. But yeah, getting Monad testnet tokens is really a pain in the behind. So these giveaways, they are really, really helpful for a lot of people out there to get some testnet Monad tokens so that you guys can start exploring the testnet and, of course, get the airdrop. That is the speculation, that if you're an active user on the testnet as well as active in their Discord, you're going to get a nice Monad token airdrop. It's not confirmed, but it's certainly looking that way, right? Just to show you that it's not really confirmed just yet, we can go to CryptoRank. CryptoRank is one of the most handy crypto websites out there. And we can just search Monad here. And if we click on airdrops, the status is potential, right? This is a potential airdrop right now. It's not confirmed. But as you can see, CryptoRank, it's a very popular crypto site, but they made a step-by-step guide on how to qualify for the airdrop. And it's really cool to see the Monad project that I'm personally most bullish on. Let's see. Here we are. It's really cool to see Atlantis included on the official CryptoRank Monad airdrop page. So yeah, I mean, fade at your own peril. That's all I'm going to say. But enter the giveaway, guys. Get active and follow my X account for all the information on how to participate and get at it. Again, winners, you guys are going to be getting your tokens just very shortly. But that's what's going on with Atlantis. And I actually recorded another airdrop guide for Monad today. You guys will see that video shortly on the channel. Be sure to subscribe if you are not subscribed. But yeah, we'll see how it goes in terms of the mainnet launch, but I think it's going to be a pretty, hyped up thing, and I think it's going to do well. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. But let's get back into the charts. We just went over Bitcoin dominance, so let's go over the other important dominance chart, which is USDT dominance. Again, this has an inverse correlation to the market. So when this goes down, we see altcoins and Bitcoin pump, and when this goes up, we see the sell-offs. Here on the daily time frame, this is going up, hence the current sell-off we are seeing in the crypto market. So why are we seeing a reversal from this point? Well, there's multiple factors. First of all, you have the sweep of the previous week low and then the reclaim. And then that sweep happened right into a pretty nice level. If we go to the 9-day time frame, again, 9 days, we have this nice little guy here, this nice order block, hidden behind this fair value gap. And you can see that USDT dominance wicked right to that order block and reversed. So this is why it's so important to have the levels marked on your charts, because these liquidity levels are likely going to lead to reversals. And that's exactly what we've seen right here today on USDT dominance. All right, we hit the level at 4.36%. Bitcoin, trading in that extreme premium, and now we're seeing the pullback. So what we should be looking out for now on USDT dominance is a retracement higher. Right, I think this is going to be a very, very juicy opportunity. I've been calling for this for a while now. If you've been watching the stream since I started up again last week, right? I've marked a lot of liquidity levels on altcoins for this to happen. And for what I mean this to happen, it's USDT dominance coming back up towards 5%. This is going to be a beautiful dip opportunity if the market actually does give it to us here. It's not a given that we're going to get this, but if we do get it, it is not the time to be scared or like paranoid or whatever. It's a dip to buy, okay? So the levels we want to be looking out for, we have the daily level here, as you can see on the left side of my screen, another daily order block inside of this fair value gap, this one, right? And coincidentally enough, if we take a fib and just measure that FVG, just the 50 percentile, so the 50% of the fair value gap is pretty close to the 1 day level. That's at 4.9%, 4.89%. Definitely have it marked, and this is a level to look to either long or buy spot on coins. And then the better one, the better level, if we do get it, would be up here above 5%. Okay, we have one right at 5%, 5.02, and then we got a really, really juicy one at 5.1% on USDT dominance. These are buy zones, okay? Whatever altcoins you want to buy, and you see USDT dominance in these levels, you buy them. It's pretty simple stuff, right? I mean, I should give the disclaimer, oh, not financial advice, but like, nah, it's like this is the plan, this is the strategy right now. All right, we want to use USDT dominance for extra confluence to make sure that we are, buying at a point in price where it's likely to lead to a bullish reversal in a demand zone. So line it up with USDT dominance in these levels, and it should save you a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. Moving on, let's look at the Bitcoin Historical Volatility Index, the BVOL. And the BVOL, of course, tells us when volatility is going to come into the market. It doesn't tell us the direction of which way price will go. It just tells us that big moves are coming. So this is still like on support, basically. This really has not broken. It has not expanded like it has in the past to the upside, which tells us that, the big volatile move, it still actually hasn't happened yet. So we're looking for another one of, these big expansive moves. Let's see if we can get our little fractal bars pattern. Here we go, our bars pattern. So we can take this to this, like so. And we're looking for something like this, right? We're looking for a big move up. Let's make it our nice purple. There we go. This is what we're looking for. All right, we're looking for this big volatility move on the BVOL. It's about to happen. Right? It's about to happen, as you can see with price now. With an inverse head and shoulders down here, it looks like it's about to fly. So the thing is, BVOL does not tell us if price will go up or down. So we got to put our thinking cap on, actually, and actually critically think about this. Going back to Bitcoin, if BVOL is about to spike and we have price swing failure patterning the all-time high, if we put 2 and 2 together, there's a good chance this is going to be a bearish move on Bitcoin with the BVOL going up. It might not be what you want to hear, but I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm here to tell you what's actually happening. And this is what's actually happening, right? BVOL is about to spike, and price is showing, again, this manipulative move. And we're looking for price to confirm that this was just a manipulative pump to 111K with a move back inside the range, and that range is from 105,800 down to 100,000 on Bitcoin. All right, and it does very likely appear that we're going to get it. From there, we have the range lows, of course, at 100K. All right, and we're bulls, right? We want to see a 100K hold, and then we explode to those fib extensions from 118 to 130. But if we are going to hit liquidity lower, we still have 98K and we still have 95K. So it's going to be volatile, right? It could look something like this. Brace yourself. And of course, get your levels marked on altcoins so that you actually buy them in their demand zones if we get this sell-off move. It's going to be a pretty crazy opportunity. Moving on now. The total crypto market cap. This is another reason why price is pulling back, right? We can just look at the Bitcoin chart itself, but we'll miss out on so much important information, which is why we always want to bring the total liquidity charts into play. And here's the total showing a pretty obvious sign of weakness. Daily time frame bearish divergence, RSI's trending lower with price pushing higher. And we also came into this major level at $3.45 trillion, right? This is, if we just get rid of all of this, if we just take the supply zone for what it is, I want everyone's eyes to go right here on the screen. If we just take this supply zone for what it is, right? We take the zone like this. This is supply. This is the equivalent of Bitcoin at 104K. Right, this is the same equivalent, but it's different in the sense because now we're on the total market cap. So this is just every coin in the market and not just Bitcoin. So when we have this higher time frame supply level, and we have price making bearish divergence, this is a double drive right now. We got one, we got two. We're looking for the triple drive to really confirm a top, but as of right now, it looks like we want to pull back into base support. And base support is at 3.2 trillion. Of course, we want to see the base support hold and then go for that triple drive, which would mean more upside, but lower first, right? If we come back down to 3.2 trillion. But yeah, total, another reason people will blame Trump and the 50% tariffs on the European Union for why the market's selling off. But the total market cap hit a higher time frame supply zone. So again, it's all in the charts, guys. It's all in the charts. So yeah, base support 3.2 trill. Look out for it. And Trump is going hard on tariffs again. He says iPhones not made in the US will face a 25% tariff. Watcher Guru tweets 2,700 ETH, and of course that was the top. That's always how it works. But yeah, a lot of really bullish news in terms of the crypto sector in the US. So all the big banks, Bank of America, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, they're exploring creating a joint crypto stablecoin. So this is the central bank digital currency, right? And it's coming. It is coming. So get your Bitcoin now. This way you won't be a central bank digital currency slave for the rest of your existence. It's very important. You want to secure your personal sovereignty and freedom if that's important to you. If you enjoy being a bootlicker, well then, you can go do whatever they say. But if you actually appreciate the joys of life and appreciate freedom, well then, you should be doing everything in your power to prepare for when the central bank digital currency goes live. And they're working on it. They are for sure working on it right now. Anyways, other news. So here's Justin Sun. He is the top holder of the Trump coin. And here he was at the Trump dinner here. And he gave a speech on stage. But, it's pretty funny that Justin Sun is the largest holder of the Trump token. Big media personality, right? Super high quality video here for his social media. He's got his team out there with him. But yeah, this happened last night. This was yesterday. And also some big stuff happening on the Avalanche blockchain. So FIFA, they signed a partnership with AVAX to build their own blockchain, right? Basically a sub-network on AVAX, just like Beam, the gaming chain. And also Becker, Elio, they're launching a DEX on AVAX. Why? Because DEXs they actually are real crypto projects that generate revenue. They're not memes. And so obviously Becker and Elio, they're building DEXs, but yeah, I mean, what do you expect? They will find new ways to do whatever they want to do. But yeah, AVAX, a lot of VC activity on the chain. A lot of VC activity on AVAX. And looking at the chart now, we already had the pullback to 2140, the bottom of our red zone here. All right, again, we want to use the tops and the bottoms of my zones as important levels in price. Oftentimes they do lead to reversals or at least local tops. But now if we go to the weekly, so on all these time frames, this demand zone sticking out, and if we pull the fib, it looks like the 61.8 in here, or the 50%, which is still fine. Yeah, 50%. So this is $20 to $19. And yeah, the 61.8 is at 1933. So look for this on AVAX. If not, we don't come all the way down to the 78.6 at 17. But you know, on all these charts, we're basically looking for this type of move, a double bottom, if you will, before the actual breakout. Okay. A lot of examples right now, right? For example, if we look at something like Aave, so Aave coming into a daily supply zone here, as you can see, also hitting this channel that I've had on the chart for quite a while, multiple resistance levels in play here on Aave. But if we look at this on the daily time frame, you know, we do have this nice fair value gap from this big inefficiency gap up. And inside of the fair value gap, we have this order block. Okay. So, and then if we pull the fib from the high to the low, we have the 50% right in the fair value gap. And this is a price of 192. In reality, you don't want to get fancy here, okay? I'm going to make it very clear. This dip that I'm expecting is a dip to buy without fear or hesitation. So when I say we don't want to get fancy, it means that when we get into our zone, we want to start buying. All right? So the zone here on Aave starts at $202.43 and it goes to around $180. So as soon as price gets below $203, right, and you want to buy, you know, that's the trigger to do so, okay? Spot leverage, up to you how you want to play it, but this is the level on Aave. And, you know, we can look at many different coins and find their own respective levels. That was the 4-day. If we go to the daily here, right, if we look at something like Link, again, we had something very similar play out where we had, again, a fair value gap, right, marked in green here. And then we had this block, as you can see, starting at $14.65. You know, this got front ran, all right? However, the fair value gap ended up working, which is why I'm saying in other coins, right, when you retrace into that higher time frame fair value gap, don't get fancy, don't get cute. If you want to buy the coin, buy the damn coin in the fair value gap. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it. But yeah, here's the Link. Potentially wants to come back in here, all right? Or maybe he wants to come into demand. I mean, I wouldn't count on this, but it's possible it comes back down to 12. This is all the scenario that we're going to essentially double bottom before the big breakout. But we don't have to come all the way down substantially to make the double bottom. Sometimes we're going to retrace only to the 50% or the 61.8. So if we come to the 50% of this move, you know, it's going to be over here at $14. If we come to the golden pocket, well, then we're coming down to this demand zone that I just drew at $12.41. So Basically, the first one you can look to play at spot, or if you want to buy like right at the level with a tight invalidation, you can leverage it, or you can just wait to leverage the second zone. You know, I'm just giving you guys the zones to work off of. Okay, these are likely going to be the reversal levels on your coins. We can't skip out on Ethereum. Okay, so let's look at ETH real quick. And on ETH, we still have the levels we outlined previously. And the main one, again, is still over here at 2,000. This is the one that everyone wants. And this is a very logical level for price to come to, right? It's obvious liquidity here. But as we've seen, you know, if the totals are going to hit their liquidity first, ETH doesn't have to come all the way down to 2,000. Which is why we have this level a bit higher at 2,200. All right, that's why we have this one here. And again, we don't just want to buy it blindly. We can always use fibs. And here we go with the fib. Pretty nice to see the 38.2 right in the first level, and then the 50% right in the second level. Okay, so these are not random. You know, these are handcrafted or selected, these prices. So we like 22.25 and we like 20.20 on ETH to be buyers. On this pullback we are looking for right now, okay? And again, price coming into this level, which was more relevant back in February and March over here. As you can see, we put the little key emoji insinuating that this was a key level. Well, here price coming back into this level again and acting as supply, as resistance. And we have a potential double top forming here, okay? And the double top will be confirmed on this break of structure below 22 or 23.30. But this is not like a macro double top. This is simply just, in my opinion, a pullback before higher. And let's talk about ETH targets. So the first major target when this resistance level is cleared, this current resistance level, our first major target is going to be 3K, this one. All right. As you can see, a very important historical level, support resistance flip for many years on ETH, right at 3,000. So this is the next one after we break out above 2,700. And then really, there is not much until after that, until up here, 3,700 to 4K. And then we're back at that 4K resistance that has held up Ethereum every time this cycle it's gotten back up there, right? The whales have sold $4,000 Ethereum aggressively every time within the past, year plus. And there's been 3 occasions of that happening. March 2024, May 2024, and December 2024. Every time it happened, whales sold off aggressively from 4K. What everyone's looking for is, of course, a new Ethereum all-time high. And the current all-time high is up here at $4,868, $4,868. So once 4K, once this one is cleared, yes, we are going to go to the all-time high. But we need to take it level by level first, because we are a long way from that point, guys. We are a long way from that point, and a lot of work needs to be done. But the beautiful thing is, we know how ETH works, and it does nothing for most of the time, like most crypto assets, right? It does fuck all basically for most of the time. But then it goes on the run. And when it goes on the run, it goes on the run. And it doesn't stop. It doesn't leave anybody any time to get into any pullbacks. So let's, again, pull out our bars pattern, our fancy bars pattern. Right, if we're going to see a fractal like this play out on ETH from the bottom, it could look something like this. This is the 2020-2021 fractal. In reality, yeah, I mean, we can use this one, or we can pull this one from the July bottom to the November top. And yeah, it still basically looks like us going to the all-time high. However, we want to go ahead and spin it. We should be looking for ETH to come into 4K to 4,800. And then we want to watch for the breakout into new all-time highs or signs of weakness. We'll see when we get up there, but there's a lot of work to do still. And the first thing is to buy 2,200 or 2,000 if we get it. And then we want to use those entries to ride up to that all-time high. All right, I think we covered most of the majors. There's, of course, ETH BTC, which looks like it potentially bottomed at 1.7 million sats. But we still have the untapped level from 2017, much lower. But yeah, as of right now, we're waiting to see if Ethereum is going to clear the swing highs. All right. And yeah, when it clears the swing highs, it's going to be fun. But we're not there yet. And as you can see on the weekly time frame, we swing failure pattern the first swing high, which tells us that we don't have the confirmed breakout yet. Right, the daily closed above. This is the same thing as Bitcoin dominance, but the weekly did not close above. So yeah, let's watch and see on ETH BTC. Let's watch and see if we do get this move to the 50%, which is right in this order block inside of a fair value gap at 2.1 million Satoshis per Ethereum. All right, we want something like this for this trend continuation move higher. Pull back into this and then pump. But yeah, we covered the major charts. There's, of course, others, total 3, total 2. But we went over total and the other relevant ones. So you guys should have a really good grasp on the market after all of that. Let's get into some of these live chat comments. Taobot, Kavya asking about Taobot, not bullish. I'm not bullish on Taobot. Guys, smash up the like button. We have well over 100 people here, but the likes don't match up to that at all. Smash up the like button. Appreciate your support. Thank you. Lee J says, is it a good time to buy Cetus? Will this incident affect Sui long term? Likely no, it won't. Sui's done a really good job handling the situation by using their power. Right? They can freeze funds and return it. Right? This comment, can a blockchain be frozen? Is this even more bearish? What are people saying to this? It's centralized. Yeah, we talked about this. Validators can agree. Yeah, decentralization is a myth. Exactly what we said. All right, we know Sui is like a VC corporate chain. And yeah, the hack, is it bearish long term? No, I still think Sui is going to go to $10 this cycle. Anyway, is it a good time to buy Cetus? If you want to, but this is not a coin at all that I planned on buying in any way, shape, or form. And if I was going to buy it, I would probably wait for the level to come into play. 3-day. 3-day's got some juice over here. And the daily has some juice. So if you do want to buy, do it in the golden pocket or the 78.6, in my opinion. Right in there. But again, like, did you plan on buying this, or do you just want to buy it now because they got hacked and you see opportunity? That's perfectly fine. I understand the thought process. But there's a lot of really good coins on the market to buy. It's just Cetus is not one that I'm interested in. Shout out to Eric Royston and Zia Khan from Dubai. What is going on? Nurala Muhammad, what is up? And Revo all the way from Chicago, Chi-Town, Chirac. What's up, Revo? We got Frank Cav, a fellow Atlantean. We got plenty of Atlanteans in the audience right now. what happened to Bitcoin then. We went over all this already, lads. We went over the Bitcoin chart, what's going on, how this is. We're looking for this to be a confirmed manipulative move again. And the way to confirm that would be a move back into the range here. Sorry if this mic is too close to my mouth. Pause. But anyways, back to business. In order to confirm this is a manipulative move, we want to see price come back inside of the range. And ideally, we want to see the range low hold at 100K. Before continuation higher, where? To our Fibonacci extension targets up here. Shout out to Abdul Rahman. What's up? Sarah asked what we think about Ethereum. We already looked at ETH. Spent quite a bit of time. Mike Green is asking for a crash. We're not going to go over Talbot. I have zero interest in that project. So no need to ask me because I'm not going to look at that. Shout out to Green Chili Pepper. What is up, Green Chili? Good to see you. Silvadala in the building. Talking about Treble. So yeah, we can look at Treble and some other base coins. I got a nice Aerodrome finance video coming for you guys recorded today. And because Aerodrome is like the proxy for base, it's the main base project. I think Aerodrome is a good thing to have your eyes on for base at large. And yeah, so that video should be released shortly. But Treble is, I mean, it's trading well, right? We have this sell-off, this retracement. Price finds a bottom over here at 29.30 cents. And we see some buyers come in. It's just kind of in this range here. And ideally, there will be more buyers than sellers in this range to push price to supply levels much higher. But yeah, I mean, look, this thing is 1.1 million market cap. It's holding super strong. And yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see all the people selling down here if they're going to be happy or really, really disappointed. Then they're not holding more in due time. But I'm very bullish on Treble Swap. I think this is going to be a great win, just like many other base projects, right? There's other ones, of course, KeyCat. I think is going to do very well on base. I think coins like Miggles are likely going to do well. KeyCat probably better, just from the way the chart's been trading and things. But yeah, Miggles another one. All the usual suspects over here on base. Degen is also a proxy for base, but Aerodrome is really like the main proxy. Tashi, there's a world where it goes back to 1 billion to 2 billion market cap. But yeah, I mean, base coins, I really see them doing very well. Coinbase got added to the S&P 500. So anyways, Aerodrome, again, is like the main proxy for base. This is the whale's chosen coin on the base network. Let's look at the trading volume, look at all the metrics. Aerodrome Finance leads every single metric. And here's Aerodrome at the current moment in time, right? We had the breakout, the break of structure, flipping the trend from bearish to bullish over here in April when we closed above 56 cents. And on the 3-day, again, we ain't complicating the analysis. We're keeping it very simple. We have a fair value gap on the 3-day, and we have a series of order blocks in the fair value gap. And then down here as well looks attractive. But again, we don't want to be fancy or cute, right? We just want to buy at a level that makes sense to be buyers at. And on Aerodrome, you know, that's in the low 50 cents to like the mid 40s, right? 55 cents to 43 cents. It's all great prices to be a buyer. But the exact level here, some people draw their fibs body to body. If we do body to body, We got 53 cents and 48 cents. But yeah, buy zones. I made a video going over this, so we'll move on because yeah, I already talked about this today. Double top on Dogecoin coming into play now, right? Here's a double top. 1, 2. And I'm not talking a macro top, I'm talking a local top. I think it's pretty smart to look to buy Dogecoin on this pullback retracement. And we have everything from 20 cents to 17.5 cents as prices to be a buyer at. %, golden pocket, all in there. It looks juicy. It does look juicy, guys. Even if you take it body to body, you got your 50% in your golden pocket right in the liquidity levels. Right, these are prices to buy Dogecoin. 20 cents, 18 cents. Anywhere in this level looks really good for this pullback currently. Of course, you could look to short the way down. That should be treated as a short-term scalp, because the real money to be made here is on the long side. All right, the real money to be made now is going to be the expansive move where you're going to see these altcoins multiply in value. Right, you need to be able to multiply your capital, and yeah, that's why we have the crypto market to do that. That's Doge. Here we got XRP. And for XRP, we like 215. Nice demand block down there. Here's our 5-day demand. Yeah, 215. We like 215, guys. We like 215 on XRP. If you want to be more aggressive, we got 225, but the main place I'm seeing is $2.19 down to $2.13 on XRP for this buy zone on this dip. Let's see. Get back to our live chat here. Shout out to Flora 1980, and we got All Day Dre in the building. Guys, be sure to like the button or hit the like button. Still a very weak amount of likes compared to the current viewers. Really appreciate every like we get here on the stream. Kaido King says he loves the new start time. He can be here live. Yeah, we're going live early in the morning Eastern Standard Time. I think it works better for everyone. And Rinham also likes the new time slot. And Dre talking about the golden cross on Bitcoin. So again, it's there for sure. Right, the 50 crossing above the 200. On the daily, the cross already happened back here on the 20th of April. Oh no, it never actually. No, they never fell beneath each other. But I'm using the EMA, not SMA, so that's why. Yeah, but anyways, golden cross, always a lagging indicator. It's good for like macro higher time frame, but in terms of like what's going to happen today or tomorrow, things like that, the golden cross is not really too useful for that. It's lagging and it's much higher time frame. If we're going to be like predicting the move tomorrow, it's not too relevant, but definitely, higher time frame, very bullish stuff. Shout out to Honest Lawn Care. He says, just arrived. The volatility is a beautiful thing to see, right? It is. It is. And the really beautiful thing is the BVol tells us that we really haven't seen the volatility yet, right? When the BVol starts to really spike, that's when we know we're getting the real volatile move. And the BVol is just coming out of the bottom right now, right? Here's the fractal we took from one of these previous spikes. So we have a lot of work to do here on this Bitcoin volatility index to come back into supply to resistance. The volatility is just starting. So it's a beautiful thing to see. And again, I think there's more money to be made on the long side than the short side, but you need to basically be patient and wait for the correct opportunity to present itself. But there's money to be made on both sides, 100%. Here's Pepe and clear top, right? Here's your bearish div. Here's your price action, putting in the double top. Price going up, RSI going down. So again, these moves, TP1 is always base support. Base support is here, the base support. But if this is going to lead to a pullback into liquidity, we still got this on Mr. Pepe the Frog. Right, we got this 6-day level. And if given, yeah, like really juicy, lucrative opportunity, 31% drop. But if Bitcoin's going to go down again to a range low at 100K, that's like a 10% move. If Bitcoin's going to go down 10%, what do you think is going to happen to altcoins? Yeah, they're going to go down 30%. Again, here's Bitcoin. We're looking for the move back inside of the range here. And being that the range low is at 100K, again, it's like a 9-10% move down here. Yeah, exactly 9-10%. So that's why we've spent the majority of our live stream today going over the important levels on altcoins to be buyers in. ZK in the higher time frame fair value gap, but there is this level here. Which time frame were we on? Yeah, this looks good too. This is the 4-day. Like, you know, if we get these guys, you need to pull the trigger. You don't have to do anything, but you know, if you like making money, I think you got to pull the trigger. Apu. It's pretty substantial, right? If you guys can get good entries, it makes your life a lot easier. For example, like buying Apu at a 40 million market cap here, right? It just makes life super easy. Buying Doge at 13 cents, it makes life super easy, right? I bought the exact bottom of Dogecoin, documented it all inside of the Crypto Empire Mastermind. So, you know, obviously some of the perks and benefits of being inside of the Mastermind apply below if you'd like to join. But when you can actually identify good levels to buy and you actually do it and it works out, it makes things so simple. There's no stress involved. We're positioned. We're already up over 100%. And we're looking to potentially increase exposure on the pullback. It takes all the overthinking and complication out of this crypto market, but it just requires patience to strike at the right time. This year, right? We've had a few wins, right? Treble swap is obviously the first win. I mean, this thing is still up from launch price at 12 cents. It's still up well over 2x, 3x. And in April, we bought a bunch of things spot, right? So yeah, a few moves, and bought a few more coins recently, but a few moves, and that's really all you need to be very happy. Obviously, I can look at my portfolio P&L from December, and you know, if I look at my portfolio P&L, I can get upset because I'll be like, damn, my portfolio was substantially higher than it is now. But that's the game. I still have substantially more than I started with, say in 2023, right? The start of this current run we're in. Compared to where I started to where I am, I'm like super far ahead. But if I compare my peak to where I am now, I'm going to be disappointed. So it's all about perspective and taking things with, looking at different perspectives of things. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think this run is going to shock a lot of people with how long it goes. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go for another 18 months, another year and a half. Like, we got time, guys. 18 months. I think we have a lot of time, and which is why you shouldn't be like so hard on yourself and try and force things. You need to play smart, right? You need to play this game very smart going forward, and understand I think you have more time than you actually think. But anyways, Vic, realistic price prediction for TREB, multiples higher. It's a 1 million market cap. Actual legitimate project, not a meme coin. First V4 DEX on base. Great tokenomics. Multiples higher. Fade at your own peril. Not really talking to you specifically, Vic. I'm just saying in general. To anyone who wants to fade, we'll see. We have Catherine Cole says, appreciate your insight. Ladies, watch your channel too. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate the support. And I do know that we have some women who watch the channel. My analytics is currently 96% male, 4% female. So, Catherine, you're in that 4 percentile group. Appreciate all the Crypto Empire ladies out there who support the channel here. Thank you for your support. And tell your friends, so this way we can get a higher percentage than 4% watching the channel here. But on that note, we've been live for an hour and 2 minutes. It's time to wrap up our show for the day. Now, I know a lot of you guys watch these live streams because you probably found me when I was doing my daily streams from like September to January 2025, right? A nice epic sprint. Well, we're sprinted again, all right? We're done walking, we're done jogging, we're sprinting. So subscribe to the channel if you like the streams because, again, we're in the sprint. We're back, lads and gals. We're back. Smash the like button. Appreciate you all being here. Hope you found this information useful. I hope you guys had your charts up, your TradingView account open at the same time I was going over the charts. This way you actually got to mark out the levels, and you have a clear plan in place now going forward. Enjoy your Friday, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Connor from Crypto Empire signing out. Stay blessed.